I thought it was all over.
Welcome to Roll Coverage. This is your host, Nick. Want to get into a bunch of different topics today. First one I'm going to start with, though, is Traylon Burks. I'm going to pull this information directly from the source. The source being Mr. Ian Rappaport. His tweet that he put out said Titans wide receiver Traylon Burks suffered an LCL sprain during practice today. Sources say after the MRI. This is good news, as Burks should only miss a few weeks. A scare, but a solid result considering. Now, obviously, I want nothing but good things to happen to Traylon Burks. I think he's great. I obviously think this severely weakens the Titans' potential wide receiver core. Obviously, they have the opportunity with D-Hop. Obviously, Traylon Burks being out a little bit, you guys got to try some of your, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, wide receiver 8 kind of guys. But one of the things that I do want to touch on is Traylon Burks' injury history. Now, obviously, I know that it happens. But he's gone through an October 3rd, 2020. He had a knee strain grade 1. Happened versus Mississippi State, where he ended up missing the next game against Auburn, but then eventually returned at Ole Miss. Then in August 21st, 2021, he missed a Razorbacks final scrimmage of fall camp due to a foot injury. They were described as a pedal foot injury. Then when he gets to the NFL, avoided surgery with turf toe October 2nd, 2022. Then a few months later, a head cranial concussion, grade 1, was concussed with a helmet-to-helmet in the end zone. Obviously, that happens. It is what it is. But now this LCL sprain, grade 2, it's affecting his left knee, and it was at a joint practice in Minnesota. So, with that being said, we go to the depth chart then, and you're looking at D-Hop. Traylon Burks will be questionable for multiple weeks and probably have lingering effects from this. Kyle Phillips, Nick Westbrook, Ikini, I'm not really sure, Chris Moore, Racy McMath, Colton Dowell, Mason Kinsley, Reggie Roberson Jr., Trayshawn Harrison, Kiaris Jackson, and Gavin Holmes. So you have some people in there. Anybody after Traylon Burks, most people haven't heard of, and if so, they heard him from college. Even Kyle Phillips, their wide receiver 3, I cannot put my finger on it. UCLA 2022. No offense, I didn't watch a whole lot of UCLA games, so I don't have a whole lot of insight on that. But with Kyle Phillips with Traylon Burks out, they're going to have to feed D-Hop, which would be great for fantasy PPR kind of thing. But that means they're going to really focus on him. And that means that they could really put people in the box and go after Derrick Henry. So no offense, man, the Titans are in a bad place without him. I need you, Traylon Burks, to come back. Everyone's saying the Titans are going to be a really formidable team. I personally don't see it, especially with this news this morning. So, I'm hoping for a quick heal for you. I'm hoping that you can get out there, because I do think that D-Hop will not be able to survive the whole year. So they'll need you at the end of the year. So just rest up, man. Hopefully you get better. These injuries, we're already starting to see a few of them happening. This one's obviously a very notable one. Cooper Kupp's got a little bit. Burrow's got a little bit. So we're already starting to see the effects of the season coming in, and a lot of those things getting shaken up. I think that I'm going to check it real quick, but I am really positive that FanDuel actually brought down the over-under for the Titans because of this. I'm going to check it real quick. They're at 7.5 wins. I'm going to be honest. If Traylon Burks is out more than 3 regular season games, I would take the under. If you think he's going to be out longer, then obviously definitely take the under. But 7 games, I think, is the high point for them with Traylon Burks. So it's just kind of a weird place depending on where you feel. I just don't believe in the Titans. This is one of those moments where I'm not going to remember the Titans. But yeah, just I need you to heal up Traylon Burks. You're going to give them the best opportunity. You're their future for wide receiver. It's not D-Hop, it's you. So just take this time to really rehab. Take this time to really take time and enjoy it with your family and anything else you want to do, because once you get back, you're going to be grinding. So you just rest as much as you can. Obviously, practice when you need to, but please rest, man. I don't want this to become a thing. You've already had a few injuries. Everybody's had injuries, but you're going to be a great wide receiver in this league if you continue with what you're doing. And I want you to continue down that path, man. So just please, man, rest. Traylon Burks, feel better. This is Nick. We're going to move on to the next topic. This is Nick, and we're back. First topic, we covered Traylon Burks, wide receiver for the Titans, who just unfortunately suffered a little bit of an LCL injury, but obviously we're wishing him the best and quickest recovery. Next thing I want to put on the screen is this. I'm going to put it over my face because it doesn't matter, man. Look at this ridiculous dime. This is Colts rookie quarterback Anthony Richardson. You know, the dude that everybody thought couldn't throw the ball? Yeah, this is a dime to Amari Rodgers. This was in a joint practice with the Bears. Comes courtesy of NFL's Dove Kleiman. So shout out to him. He actually got the video from Mike Villegas that took it at the joint practice. Dude, Anthony Richardson is being so overlooked. Now, obviously, I understand the size. His size is unquestionable. His dominance in that, his dominance in the run game, the questions that he's going to end up bringing up in the defenses, it's going to completely change the game, obviously for him and obviously for the Colts' success. I akin him to a more advanced version of Cam Newton. I'm just hoping that he takes what Cam did in the behind the scenes and really focuses on it more. One of the things that my actual favorite player, Michael Vick, once said is, he's like, man, I really wish I could go back and hit those books. You know, they really didn't study the playbook as much and all that other stuff. And I think that's, if Anthony Richardson does that and he could drop dimes like this, I don't think you guys have anything to worry about. Obviously, the loss of Jonathan Taylor, obviously it's not a injury loss or anything. It's currently just a contract dispute that I hope gets rectified here soon. But if you add Jonathan Taylor with Anthony Richardson and he's out here throwing stuff like this, man, you guys have nothing to worry about. Michael Pittman, you guys have the opportunity to do something great. So I'm hoping you guys are able to let him cook. I'm hoping you guys are able to let him get his game going. I'm glad you guys named him the starter. But, man, what a dime. I'm looking at it again. Just, beautiful. Beautiful. And if people are talking about he's going to throw more picks than Jameis Winston, the 30 pick year, I don't think so. I do think he'll be in the 15 to 18, but I think he's going to end up with like 24 to 27 touchdowns. So he's going to be in the contention for Offensive Rookie of the Year. So watch out for that. Yeah, man. Dude, you're gonna light it up, Anthony Richardson. Gonna light it up. A ridiculous throw. Even better catch. So today is wide receiver day, it seems. We're hearing reports that Tank Dell is emerging as wide receiver number 1 for C.J. Stroud and the Texans. Dell and Stroud reportedly connected with 3 touchdowns against the Dolphins in today's joint practice. That was on the 16th. That was yesterday. He is obviously making a serious case. And then a direct quote from Will Anderson, Texans defensive end, said that he's electrifying when he's on the field. I can't believe that Tank Dell is going to show up and just destroy, man. The Texans, you guys don't really have a crazy wide receiver. I'm going to pull it up just to be sure. I think you guys might have gotten, you guys have Mechie. I actually like Mechie quite a bit. Nico Collins, I like. Okay. To be honest, it should be Nico, Mechie, Dell, Robert Woods. I would have gotten rid of Robert Woods already. I just don't think he's worth it. Noah Brown, Ohio State, or OSU, I mean. Oh, it is Ohio State. Okay, cool. I don't know why I thought it was Oklahoma State for some reason, but yeah, Nico, Tank, Mechie. I think that's going to be a great little wide receiver core. But remember, all those guys are pretty young, man. You guys got to really let them flourish. And if C.J. Stroud can go out there, you guys can protect him. You guys can give him time. It's going to be a great year. Texans, man, I'm trying to check your win total real quick just to be sure, just in case I check these courtesy of FanDuel. We are looking for the Houston Texans. 6.5. Currently sitting at 6.5 as of 8/17 of 23. I'm gonna take the over. I think they have 7 wins this year, especially if that wide receiver core can get it going. That's gonna be nasty. So, man, what a year for wide receivers, man. Just in this episode, I mean, I got more wide receivers to come. We're still going to talk about Chris Olave, Justin Jefferson. So this is for our wide receiver little spectacular day. So enjoy. We'll be right back, man. Okay, welcome back. We're going to move on to our next wide receiver. I'm going to talk about Chris Olave. Now, I'm going to be one of the first people to put out there that I am not an Ohio State fan. To be honest, I've never even been in the state of Ohio strictly because of Ohio State University. Not even a Michigan fan or anything like that, man. But I'm slowly resigning myself. I'm finding that I wasn't a Ohio State hater. I was an Urban Meyer hater. So, with his disaster with the Jaguars, I feel completely okay to slowly start accepting that Ohio State is definitely wide receiver university, and I don't think it's even close. You can say Alabama, you can say, USC with Drake London. No, that's not a thing. It is Ohio State University. Their wide receiver room over the last 10 years has been kind of ridiculous, and it's only getting worse with guys like Chris Olave. So the reason why I brought this up is because I recently saw a thing where it says the Saints are having high expectations for second-year wide receiver Chris Olave. Yeah, of course he is. First of all, he's wide receiver 1 on that team. Even though Michael Thomas is there, Michael Thomas is 2, and nobody can debate that at this point. I think he's even listed on the NFL.com depth chart as wide receiver 1. So he's already solidified himself out there. He's going to continue. A lot of people are calling him like OBJ or giving him comparisons there. And I think that he's a better version of OBJ. I think he's going to be more disciplined, and I think he's going to be much more successful because he's going to put his head to the ground and really grind. So with that, man, I'm really expecting Olave to do a lot. I've gone big on him in fantasy, not too big, but I'm definitely seeing him disappear in the first round in a lot of my fantasy leagues. Just so you know, our channel's doing 50 fantasy leagues this year. We've already got 10 of them down, so we got a few more to draft over the course of the next week or two. So it's going to be kind of crazy, but we're going to get them all posted and get them nice and organized for everybody so they can see. And if you guys want to weigh in on any of the teams, I'll actually let you guys influence trades and people I should be looking out to pick up and everything like that. So yeah, Olave is definitely a target in fantasy for sure. When it comes to the season, I would probably look at his totals. I'll actually pull them up, betting odds, just to be safe. I'm going to check FanDuel. So let's see. Trying to see if they have anything on Chris Olave. They probably don't have anything specific yet. I'm not seeing it. Chris Jones, hold on. Chris Olave receiving total for the year over under 1025.5 as of 8/17. I'm taking the over, period. There's no way that man ends up sub 1,000 yards. Something funny to throw into this is Jamar Chase's over under is 1,300. Justin Jefferson, who was going to be our next topic, is 1,375.5. This is as of 8/17/23, by the way. Again, odds provided by FanDuel, or at least from their website. So yeah, you're going to do amazing, Chris. Olave is going to tear it up, man. He's going to. I'm going to put his total at probably about 1,250 yards. I'm going to put him at probably. God, he's really going to be the number one target, but he's not probably going to be the number one in touchdowns just because Mike Thomas is there, and I feel like he's a little bit more formidable of a target. but I'm going to give him 10 touchdowns. I'm going to say 9-10 for Olave. That'll put Mike Thomas at about 7 or so. I think they're really close. If Olave's over, he's probably 12, 13. I don't think he does 15, 16, 18 touchdowns or anything. But he's going to be really formidable. He's going to be a really good fantasy target. I think he's going to get a ton of targets down there. I'm really excited to see him. I'm really excited to see him develop. That system's going to be great, and it's going to move mountains, man. And if this is what you're doing in year 2, I can only imagine what year 3, 4, and 5 are. So watch this man in the future, because he's breaking out in a big, big way. We'll see you on the next topic. Welcome back. This is Nick with Roll Coverage, wrapping up our last topic of our wide receiver day. Kind of impromptu wide receiver day, but just a crazy one that I want to finish with, which is Ryan Clark on TV talking about George Pickens is more talented than Justin Jefferson. Now I'm just going to put the craziness aside of like their actual stats and the fact that Pickens hasn't proved himself yet, even though I'm a huge fan of Pickens and I think he's going to be great. I personally think he's going to end the year as wide receiver 1 for the Steelers. But right now there's some people that don't believe in him, which is like 95% of people. But this is a bit of going too far by saying he's better than Justin Jefferson. Now, if it may become that, obviously that is a ridiculous bar to hurdle over, because currently his over-under for the yards is 775, and Justin Jefferson's looking at 1375. So obviously we got Vegas believing in Justin Jefferson over Pickens quite a bit. But I just love the memes that are coming out of this, talking about Barstool putting out saying, drug test Ryan Clark immediately. Amazing. I think it's crazy to think that he's number 1, or because essentially that's what you're saying. Justin Jefferson is the number 1 wide receiver as of right now. Real year hasn't started. Obviously that might change. But yeah, I don't see this being normal. No, he's not a number 1. He's a number 1. He's not even number 1 on his team right now. Deontay Johnson. What am I talking about? Like, he's a 2 right now, period. So to say that he's better than the number 1 receiver in the league last year, Justin Jefferson, and a guy who's been a top 3 receiver for the last, 2-3 years at least? Arguably 3 years? Probably longer now that I'm thinking about it. Regardless, man, since he's been in the league, dude's been lighting it up. You can't avoid him in fantasy. If you have the pick and he's up there, man, you got to really put some thought into it. So I just love the take. I love that Ryan Clark's out there kind of going crazy with, going full heel on it. But it might flesh out. It might not. I love Pickens. I love what he can do. I'm really excited with him and Pickett. So it's just going to be a great dynamic. But to say that he's better than Justin Jefferson right now is just bananas. Like, not even in the realm of possibility. And that's not a stretch of imagination. That's not me being a hater on Pickens. Again, I'm a huge fan, but man, he ain't better than Justin Jefferson. And don't throw dirt on that man's name like that. Pickens is good, but he ain't that good. Regardless, this has been Nick with Roll Coverage. Hopefully you guys have a great day. Check out our shorts. Check out our TikTok, all that stuff. We just started getting the social media up, and we just want to thank everybody. So, we'll see you tomorrow. This is Nick. We're out.